Hi, welcome to Historic Eats. Today I'll be making for you dark butterscotch pie with a pecan infused crust. This butterscotch pie is full of rich flavors of toffee, and it has a traditional meringue topping, and the crust is infused with toasted pecans. It's absolutely delicious, and it's perfect for Father's Day. On this channel, I demonstrate making original recipes and share a little bit of the backstory or the history of how the recipe came to be. So if you enjoy that sort of thing, please click subscribe. You can also head over to my website, historic-eats.com, where you will find printable versions of the recipes there. And by all means, please feel free to browse through my channel and check out some other historic recipes. What makes this butterscotch pie dark butterscotch pie is the presence of dark brown sugar, and that just means it has more molasses in it. The coloration of the custard will be brown, as it is supposed to. It'll look just like the dark brown sugar. If you prefer a lighter tan look, then by all means just substitute the dark brown sugar with light brown sugar. It will come out just fine. It'll just look lighter in color. The flavors of the dark brown sugar are a little bit more complex, a little more smoky, just simply because there's more molasses in it. It really isn't a wrong or a right way to do it. This recipe will show you how to make the custard from scratch. There's no gelatin involved, no box mix involved, so you will truly get an authentic flavor of butterscotch. So let's go ahead and get started. To start the pecan crust, I'm just going to melt a little bit of butter and add a third cup of pecans. And I'm just going to lightly toast these for a couple of minutes. Now that those are browned and toasted, I'll pull them off. And now I'm going to process them briefly in my food processor, or of course you can also just break them into small pieces with a rolling pin. And that looks good. In a large mixing bowl, you're going to start with 1 cup of flour. To that, add a third cup of shortening, a half a teaspoon of salt, and just begin cutting that together like you would a regular pie crust. And I'm going to go ahead and add the pecans. They're all cooled down now. And about 4 tablespoons of ice water. And just continue cutting that together. Those pecans are so fragrant since we toasted them. It smells really good. And add 2 tablespoons of sugar. Just see if that holds together. I think it needs a little more water. So just add water or flour as necessary. Okay, and to roll that out on your floured surface, just bring it together into a ball. And I'm going to roll this out to fit a 9-inch pie pan. I use a spatula here to release it from the mat. And trim the edges and crimp it however you desire. All right, that looks great. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator. It needs to chill for 1 hour before we bake it so it doesn't shrink. So this pie shell is going to be pre-baked, so preheat your oven to 375 degrees. And now that this is chilled, I'm just going to poke some fork holes in the bottom for steam. And we're going to blind bake it, so you just lay foil inside. And add the pie weight. And this will bake for 15 minutes with the pie weights and the foil. At 15 minutes, we'll remove the foil and pie weights, and it'll bake an additional 10 to 15 minutes. To begin our filling, we'll need 4 egg yolks. Set that aside. And in a large saucepan, we're going to combine 3 tablespoons of cornstarch with 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 1/2 of a teaspoon of salt. Get those dry ingredients mixed together, and then 1 3/4 cup of whole milk. Some recipes call for 1/2 and 1/2, and some just call for regular milk. This recipe just uses whole milk and will increase the butter in the other part of the filling. So that'll make up for that, and it'll be equally as rich. So you just get that stirred together, and we're gonna set this aside so it's ready. Into a second smaller saucepan, I'm going to put a stick of butter. And then I also prepared 1 cup of dark brown sugar. And butterscotch is known for the presence of molasses. That's what gives it that really rich toffee-like flavor. So I'm gonna take this over to the stove on medium-high heat, stirring constantly. I'm gonna brown the butter, and then we will add the sugar. So this is melting down nicely. And we're also going to get a tea kettle ready because we will need 1 cup of boiling water. So go ahead and put that on. And I'm just going to continue to stir this until it gets a nice golden brown honey color. Once it really begins foaming like this, you'll be able to see that there'll be some brown developing in the middle, and that's exactly what we're looking for. So now that's a nice warm caramel color. I'm going to go ahead and add my sugar and continue stirring. So it's been about 3 or 4 minutes. As you can see, the sugar is beginning to melt and like liquefy. The butter wants to stay separate, but that's okay. We just want to get that graininess to be fully dissolved. So we'll give this about another minute. So this process is going to take about 5 minutes, so be patient with it. Remember, keep your heat medium low. On my stove, it's on a number 4. Okay, my sugar has dissolved and it has reached boiling point. There's little pockets of bubbles coming up. My water in my tea kettle is boiling. So I'm going to pour 1 cup of boiling water into this mixture, and it's gonna sputter and steam. So you just wanna do it very slowly. Just continue stirring that so you don't have any lumps. I lifted mine off the heat as well. Next, bring over to the burner the larger saucepan that has the milk and the cornstarch and flour in it. And over medium heat, I'm going to add the butter sugar mixture
to the milk mixture, and we're going to continue to stir until it boils. And I'm just making sure that all the little pieces of flour, little pieces of cornstarch break down in there. You want it to be perfectly smooth. So it's been a few more minutes. This is starting to bubble on the edges, so it's close to the boiling point. So I'm going to go ahead and temper my eggs. So I'm just going to move this off the heat a little bit. And remember our egg yolks? I'm going to go ahead and add a small amount of the butterscotch mixture to the egg yolk, just to temper the egg yolks so they don't cook. Let's do that a couple more times here. So now that that's smooth and glossy, I can return it right back to the caramel, the butterscotch in the pan. And back on the heat briefly, I just want this to get back to the boiling point one more time, and then it's done. So I'm just going to continue to stir it. And it's reached boiling point again, so I can pour it right into my prepared shelf. This is all cooled from earlier. Right to the top. I have a little bit left over too. So this is just going to cool to room temperature, and then I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. It needs to be completely cooled before we put the topping on it.
For the meringue, I'm going to start with 4 egg whites, and these have been sitting out for about 15 minutes, so they're not icy cold from the fridge anymore. And then you need to have ready a 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar and a 1/4 cup of regular granulated sugar. Now with the mixer on low, you're just going to begin blending the egg whites, and we just want them to get kind of milky and glossy before we add anything. I'll go ahead and sprinkle in the cream of tartar and just a little bit of the sugar. You just want to add the sugar in small portions. At this point, I'm just going to test it. You want to make sure that all of the sugar is dissolved. And if it is, then it is safe to go ahead and begin whipping. So now I'm going to turn the mixer on high. And we want stiff peaks to form. That looks really good. And it is definitely holding. Okay, you can go ahead and preheat your oven. Just turn the broiler on. And the pie has been in the refrigerator. It is not ice cooled, but it is cooler so that I can go ahead and put the meringue on it. It's been in there about maybe an hour. Just dollop that all on there. And then with my spatula knife, I'm just going to make some pretty swirls in it. That looks good. And I'm going to put this in the broiler About 4 to 6 inches from the heat element, and you're going to really watch it. It only takes like 3 to 5 minutes. It's just kind of like toasting a marshmallow, so stay right by it. Watch through the glass of your oven.
In 1817, Doncaster, Yorkshire, candy maker Samuel Parkinson invented a buttery smooth candy drop made from combining molasses with butter and sugar. He called his new confection buttery brittle toffee, and soon after the name butterscotch was adopted. The name was likely derived from the process of scoring the hard candy when preparing to cut it in individual pieces, which was termed scotching. It's also possible that the butterscotch name came from the term scorching, which was the word for the process of heating sugar over an open flame. Despite its namesake, there never was any scotch or alcohol in the butterscotch recipe. The defining characteristic of butterscotch is its unique flavor. When heated with butter, the molasses develops a toffee flavor with a touch of saltiness, unlike caramel, which is made without molasses and white sugar only. Butterscotch candies grew in popularity into the 20th century. They were included in military rations during World War I as they were non-perishable and served as morale boosters. They were even considered of higher value than cigarettes when soldiers traded. By the mid-century of 1900s, the butterscotch flavor became popular in America as custards and ice cream topping. Butterscotch is still considered a confectionery favorite today, and now you can stir it up right in your own kitchen.
Okay, so this is 3 minutes under my broiler, and I had my broiler set on low, and you can see it's just perfectly toasted like a marshmallow. It looks awesome. So now this is going to go back in the refrigerator until it's chilled completely through, and then we will be ready to enjoy it. Well, it's time for the best part. We get to give it a try. So the meringue toasted beautifully. It looks like a little toasted marshmallow. It's really good. It has a lot of rich toffee flavoring with the dark brown sugar in it, and the crust is really nice. The pecan is just a very light flavoring, and if you just eat like the fluted part, it almost tastes like a cookie. It's really good. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you'll give this recipe a try. By all means, click subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment, or you could head over to historic-eats.com where you can find a printable version of this recipe as well. And to all you fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Till next time, bye-bye.